everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the different tools that you can use in training with your dog. Some of these tools are going to make your job a lot easier. So as I explain the different ins and outs of each one, you can make up your own mind to figure out exactly which one would suit your dog and your capabilities. First and foremost, let me start out with the old-fashioned dangle collar. This is what we call the dangle collar. It's just a flat collar about 3/4 of an inch wide. You can latch it with a little belt loop there, a little belt snap. But you hang your dog's name tag and rabies tags on this particular collar, which most people do. I'm not a big fan of this type of collar, and the reason being is because if you've ever been walking your dog and you have a collar like this on your dog, and he is pulling you very, very hard, and he sounds like he's choking, he's spitting, he's sputtering, sounds like he's going to pass out or die even. Well, the reason is this particular collar, the way it is designed is that whenever you pull back against your dog, which is a no-no, which is what makes your dog pull even more, and I explain that in some videos I'm going to be doing for you. But when you hook your leash right here to this little catch, and it's on your dog's neck, and you're walking along and you pull back, look where all the pressure goes. Right on your dog's trachea. Collapsing the trachea, and that's why your dog sounds like he is choking, because he practically is. It's collapsing his throat. Over time, it could damage your dog's throat. It could make calluses appear and form in your dog's throat. So you want to be very careful about walking your dog with this particular type of collar, especially if you have a dog that pulls a lot. Now, that's one. Another collar I like to use is a training collar. Most people know it as a prong collar or a pinch collar. And a lot of people don't like these collars just particularly because of the way they look. And yeah, I mean, they look like some kind of torture device out of medieval times, but I can assure you that I use these collars a lot, and they are very, very good collars. Let me explain. These collars were designed to imitate the same thing that mama dog would do to a puppy, which is grab it on the neck with the teeth and correct the puppy. So when you have a collar like this on your dog and you engage it, and whenever it does a little pinching action that it's designed to do, it simulates those teeth that mom used to put on puppy's neck the same way. And your dog automatically knows he's being corrected, and he will back up and stop the shenanigans that he is doing. So this particular collar, it has different loops and things. You can pretty much take it loose from any one of these lengths and put it back together simply by pinching it and putting it into the slots. But as your dog grows, you must increase the size of these collars so that they don't become too tight, or worse, they don't become embedded within your dog's neck. Also, if your dog has one of these on and you have it fit way too loose, then it's going to be no different than you having this type of collar on. And also, worse than that, it will poke into your dog's neck. But if you properly fit this collar, then it is very, very good collar to have. This will prevent your dog from backing out of a collar. A lot of dogs, when they get scared, they pull back and boom, they're gone because the owner doesn't have this particular collar on tight enough. So this, if the dog backs up, it will close down and he will stop trying to pull out of it. Okay? Now, it's your decision, your choice if you want to use one of these. I recommend them. I use them all the time. I have had no problems, no injuries, or no things like that. My clients that do use them, they love them. The next collar I want to talk about, which I don't have one, I don't know where it's at, I lost it, and you probably know about it. It is the old-fashioned choke chain. It is called a training collar as well. But the choke chain, I like it better than the flat collar because when you apply pressure to the choke chain, the pressure is 360 degrees all the way around your dog's neck equally. But if you're not a skilled person with a choke chain, then you probably don't want to use that as well. Because like the name says, you can choke your dog with it. So be very careful if you're going to use a choke chain. The last collar I want to talk about, and a lot of people don't like these collars either, these are called e-collars. That is short for electronic collar. These are collars that are designed for training and working in the beginning with field dogs that was out on the hunt or they was out doing flocks or whatever. But nowadays people use them for training their dog, and a lot of very skilled trainers out there with the e-collar. In fact, some companies, that's all they use is the e-collar while training dogs. But I like this collar because it has a couple of different benefits. This particular collar here, it goes a half a mile away. The range is 1/2 mile, okay? It also has a couple of other added benefits that if you have a very dark yard and you have a very big yard, well, what we can do is you smash this little button and you have a little flashing light that tells you where your dog's at out in that big old field. Or you can press it again and it stays on and you can see him a little bit better, okay? Now this particular collar here has a couple of different functions. It has a vibrate or beep, you can set it to either one. It also has what they call a nick, where when you press the button, it'll thump your dog with a little electric shock. Or you have what they call the continuous shock button, where if you hold it, and as long as you hold it, it will shock your dog on the neck. But we're not talking about very, very much shock. We're talking about a very, very mild shock to the point where it almost feels to your dog like you take your two fingers and you put it on your neck and you press a little bit, and that's what it feels like to your dog. But that's in a very low setting. How you set this collar is, you put it on your dog. Whenever it goes around your dog's neck, you want to make sure that you have two fingers underneath it when you cinch it up on your dog's neck. When you feel it tight against your two fingers, then you're tight enough. Also, don't put the collar on when your dog's head is down. You always want his head to be up because the neck is expanded when the head is up, and it's elongated when the head is down. So don't put this collar on when your dog's head is facing toward the ground. Another thing, when you set your collar, you want to go to the very lowest setting you can. You mash the little tickle button or the thump button, and if there's no action from your dog, in other words, if he don't look around saying, "What is that?" then you're not high enough. You want to go up 2, 4, 8, 10, 12, until your dog has a reaction like, "What is that? What's going on?" That is your low, undistracted setting. That's the setting where there's no distractions, your dog is not preoccupied, and he will feel this. Now, in order to get your dog's attention, let's say he takes off running after a kid passing by on a bicycle or skateboard, or your dog likes to chase cars or anything like that. What I would do then is I would go from, let's say the lowest setting, non-distracted setting is a 6 on my dog. Then I would probably go to a 10 or 15 and then press the button and see if the dog will stop running after the kid or after the bicycle or after the car. What you are doing when you go up with it is you're giving your dog a mild enough correction and hopefully it's uncomfortable enough to your dog that he stops doing the behavior which you don't want, which is chasing a car, chasing a bicycle, chasing a kid down the road, or anything like that. You have to make sure that the discomfort level is above the desire of the dog to continue doing what you don't want him to do. Okay? Enough about this.